Hey folks, my name's Ed Trevors. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the beautiful parish of St. Margaret of Scotland that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Gwe. There's a guy that comes to church every Sunday. His name's Curtis. And Curtis is an awesome guy, wonderful guy. But every Sunday he says something to me. He says, Ed, you're a nice guy. And every Sunday I joke with him and say, no, I'm not. I am not a nice guy. Stop calling me a nice guy. And Curtis laughs and I laugh. Now Curtis is being serious. He's telling me he thinks I'm a nice guy. And he means it. Me, I'm only really half joking with him when I say, no, I'm not. I know where I come from. I know what I've been taught. Now, a few weeks ago, a friend here on the channel asked me, is God required for a person to be kind? I responded, no. As a matter of fact, even if God's required, it doesn't mean people will be kind. Some very horrible things have been done by people who claim to be followers of God. And they asked, then what's the point? I'm paraphrasing, but they asked, what's the point? If God's not needed to be kind, what's the point? People can just be kind. They're right. People can be kind. I believe that. I don't believe God is required for people, for humanity, to act kindly towards one another, to give to each other, to love each other, to build equity and to be merciful and to offer justice to one another. I don't believe God is required. I think if we lived in a world without religion and without any sense of a God, people would still be able to be kind and loving and generous and charitable. But God was definitely needed for me. My parents did a really good job raising me. They taught myself and my sister always to be kind, to be courteous, and to be polite. They told us over and over and over again that we should be generous and that we should be loving and that we should look out for the people around us. We should look out for our families. We should look out for our friends. We should look out for our neighbors. They taught us that in their words. They taught us that in their behavior. They taught us that in their actions. But my parents weren't my only teacher. See, I had these other teachers, not school teachers, but life teachers. And these other teachers, and those teachers taught me, growing up in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, they taught me, go get what's yours. Take care of yourself. Work hard. Take what belongs to you. Not just money-wise, but money, comfort, sex, pleasure, prestige, reputation, status, all the things that human beings desire. That stuff comes first. Only losers are nice. Nice guys finish last. Weaklings, wimps, they're the nice ones. They're the courteous ones. The real masters of their destiny, they're not nice. They're bold. They're about themselves. This was the lessons that I learned. And I learned these lessons really, really, really well. Because as I said, my teachers weren't my parents weren't my only teachers. Media filled much of my life. Television, music, books, comics, movies, you name it. Commercials. These lessons are found throughout the messages of these other teachers. Still today, apart from the occasional, weepy-eyed long-distance commercial. So no, for me, I needed God. I needed I needed the teachings of Jesus to bring me back, to take me off the path that I was walking, to show me that there is a better life, a fuller life, a life of purpose and mission, a life of true, deep satisfaction, not in serving of self, but in serving others. Being kind to others, in giving to others, and being generous to others. And this message of Jesus, it challenges me every single day. It challenges me every single day to let more and more and more of the teachings that I gleaned in my childhood and in my early adulthood, to let that stuff go. I desperately need the message of Jesus Christ to help me, to encourage me, to support me, to draw me into a life of kindness and a life of giving and a life of charity, to draw me back to those teachings of my parents. Again, no. A faith in God is not required for a person to be kind, but it certainly was for me. Not only that, but following Jesus also demands that I continually rethink and continually allow the very definition of what the word kindness means to expand. Is kindness just a matter of giving somebody a couple of bucks on the street? Is kindness a matter of sitting down with them and sharing a meal? Is kindness... You get the point. Kindness is a subjective word. What's kind for one person is not so kind for another. And again, the teachings of Jesus help me challenge my understanding of what kindness is, what love is, what charity and generosity is, what sacrifice is. No, God is not required for a person to be good, for a person to live a good life for others. But God was definitely required for me to live this way. God is still required for me to live this way because I'm still trying to figure this all out. And I don't think I'm alone. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that we will always choose to be people of love and generosity and kindness. And I pray that we will allow our understanding of what love and generosity and kindness is to expand, to include more and more and more people, more and more space. And if you, like me, happen to have a difficult time in living a life of kindness or understanding exactly what kindness is, I pray you will turn to a higher source of wisdom. For me, that's Jesus. So that we might be drawn out into that fuller, greater, impactful life. Amen. Nemultus.